Good morning, my friends. How are you? I've got to take that down. Here we are. Woo! Get in here, you old strangers. Come on. First, I want to say thank you to Carly with an I. She's been a member for 12 months. OJ, you have not been a member. You need to get down. Good afternoon, Broken Goth Doll. We have a lot of people in here we haven't seen for a long time. And what a perfect day for the fam to get back together. Many of us came together, became friends over the Summer Wells case. This is how we all got together. We've become personal friends, sometimes just on Facebook, whatever. What case did you all find the channel through? And whatever one it is, it's not going to hurt my feelings. That's impossible. But Summer Wells, she has this energy that really, really brought us together. Now, we know that Summer has not been talked about a lot lately. And hey, that's not my fault. Let me tell you why. Because law enforcement will not update us. They will not update us. Well, before I get to our normal hump day surprises, let me ask you, how is your weather? Because we're getting severe storms, and you know what that means in Oklahoma. So they're coming in this afternoon, and they're not ending until Saturday. Woo-wee. My goodness. That's okay. Pat K said it's rainy. Bye, you babe. Said it's so beautiful here in Louisiana. Thanks for rubbing it in. Next, all we need is one of the Florida girls to come in and go, I don't know, I've already got a tan. I have to wear sunscreen now because I'm already so tan. Well, let's get to it. Let's tell everyone happy hump day. Our normal routine.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Oh, it's hump day. And if OJ had that camel, he would beat it up. I told you about when that puppy dog came around and what he did to the dogs next door. Got to keep OJ on a leash. Thankfully, I did find his harness and leash, but he doesn't like to wear them. He likes to be all bohemian and prowl around through the backyard like he's on Wild Kingdom. But we also know on Wednesdays what we're supposed to do. Who's got their pink on? Your own. On Wednesdays, we wear pink t-shirt. Ignore the model. That is me. But let me know. Hit me up. And I can damn sure get you a t-shirt. I'm going to get one for OJ pretty quick, too. Now, I have a feeling that this show is not going to get us a lot of fans. Think we're going to need a case of this stuff. Bitch, be gone. There are 3 cases in the history of this channel that people do not want us talking about. Summer Wells, Michael Vaughn, and most recently, Sebastian Rogers. Why is that? What is the problem? Friends getting together to discuss a missing child. YouTuber said, wow, Brooks, how old are you, girl? 12? It was actually just a good makeup day and I had to be in the right light. But no, I'm almost 49. Why is that? Why have people bullied, harassed, or as they say on the YouTube streets, doxed? They're always doxing me. Oh, shut up. Try doxing me. I give my damn self away all the time. I'm not that sensitive. So what is it? Why does it get under people's skin? Because no police officers ever reached out to me and been like, you know what, if you don't mind, don't use your First Amendment speech to talk about a child that's missing. No. Something gets under their skin when we talk about certain cases. What to do? Well, it's been over 1,000 days since Summer Wells disappeared. A lot of stuff's going on. Behind the scenes, I have trust on that. I put a poll up on the community tab yesterday and I said, what do you guys want to talk about? Because I think on Wednesdays, you all should be able to pick. I did put Sebastian in there, but we talked about Sebastian Monday and Tuesday. I don't see any new updates or anything. And, talking about the proud feet doesn't really, tickle my pickle if I had one. You said we haven't talked about Summer in a long time. There actually have been some things going on in the Summer Wells case. I saw this meme the other day. Throw some cheese on a broke-ass cracker. I laughed a little too hard at this. Good morning, Angela. I want to address this to Kimberly T. Do you honestly think these two could commit the perfect crime? No. No. Not by a long shot. Even if they were working together with Jody Sue, Andy, Fred, and Ziggy all together. No, there's no perfect crime. There is always something that the police need in order for charges, probable cause. This picture had me LOLing way too long. Throw some cheese on this broke-ass cracker. And I'm telling you, 5 minutes later, I got a notification from AB's channel that Benny's back in jail, but he's got a much higher bond this time. Woo! Woo! And as you know, Benny was a huge part of the Summer Wells case. Hell, at one point, people were thinking that he was having an affair with Candus. Well, she tried her hardest. She tried her hardest. She wanted to go skydiving with him. Then I had to do a double take, and I'm like, is that Benny? But it's not. It's just a meme. It's just a meme. We're all good. Candus has been really butthurt over the last couple of weeks because Katie Proudfeet has been getting a lot of attention. So Can't, who's scared of bears, went down to Gatlinburg. Okay? Checking out the sights, riding the rides, bitching about how expensive the nachos are. This chick, who I could be best friends with, asked Candus, Katie taking your limelight? Can't replies, of course she is. Well, what the hell, Can't? We already know that you said we're not allowed to talk about Summer. Right? You said you've got to put Summer on the back burner. But now in the last few weeks, coincidentally, since Sebastian Rogers has gone missing, you're really pushing for attention. You had a foot-long corn dog, smoking a cigarette, and you've got your Swear Garden t-shirt on. Let me tell you something. Nothing is going to get more attention at an amusement park than Candus Wells sucking on a footlong. Muscles and Mascara, thank you so much for the super sticker. She said 1,044 days for Summer Wells. 1,002 for Michael Vaughn. way too long. You're exactly right. Thank you for the super sticker, Angela. And before I get to it, here, she might get this membership too. Gaelic Girl just gifted a Crime Lines and Lies membership. Now, I don't want to make Jinbug blush, but today is her birthday. So let's take a second and tell our very good friend, happy birthday. You're an amazing person and you're an amazing friend. So happy you got to join us today, Jinbug. If I could really make it special for you, I would have Candus come on and show us how she gobbles down that foot-long corn dog, because I've never seen nothing like that before. I've never seen anything like that before. So she says on her own channel that she is upset about Harley Proudfeet taking her limelight. What about your daughter? Your daughter is missing. On top of that, she has really been casting a lot of shade towards the Proudfeet family. The goal of her statements is going to make you shit a brick. Angela, thank you for the super sticker. She said Candace Burley searched in those chairs for summer. She lied and she lied and she lied, my friend. This is the statement. Remember what she told the public? She was planting flowers, washed her hands, as if Candace washes her hands. According to Dawn, she doesn't even wash her own ass or brush her teeth. So we're supposed to believe that she washed her hands after planting those overgrown succulents, which, by the way, would take probably a good 20 years to overgrow the containers they were in. Bianca Moraes from WJHL. This is from June 16th, 2021. According to Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, the TBI and FBI are conducting a joint investigation with the Sheriff's Office into the disappearance of Summer Moon Utah Wells, who, according to her siblings, just walked out the back door while they were playing and not really paying attention. This is the statement from her brothers. What about the statement from her own mother? This is the statement from her brothers, my friends. Pruitt was on property. There was a guardian ad litem that spoke to the three boys separately. That means they all said the same thing. After she walked out that back door, they never saw her again. However, their mother, if you want to call her that, said she went down into the basement to play the dungeon. She asked those same three boys who gave a statement to the police that they saw their sister go out the back door. She tells WJHL, Dr. Phil, Chris McDonough, anyone that doesn't have cotton in their ears, that the boys were supposed to be watching her. And the boys said she went down into the dungeon to play with those broken Happy Meal toys, with the cobwebs, the mold, the dark windows, nothing down there. Nothing down there except for this. The mattress. And that just 2 seconds or 2 minutes or 10 minutes later, she went down into the dungeon and Summer was just gone. How much attention do you think Can't pays to Summer? You think maybe this much? Look on your screen. Look at her. They're in the front row of church. Look at her, half passed out. Her good friend Robin shared that picture. Hell, I'd have called an ambulance. I mean, how much does she really care? This is her message to her good friend, Kathy, that she was playing the scissors game with when they were going camping all the time. But she's scared of coyotes, snakes, and bears. Well, I don't think friend Kathy was taking her to a parking lot to camp. They were going to the woods. Kathy says, "Are you okay?" She says, "Well, I spoke to the boys last night and they told me," and she says consoler, she means counselor, "that they don't want to come back home with me and Dawn, and that's what they're going to tell the judge." I have a feeling that is exactly what they said. Let's go to what she said on Daisy's channel the other day, shall we? This is from Whistle While You Lurk. Please subscribe.
Hey, thank you guys. I do hope they find Summer. I know this is heartbreaking to see another child out there searching and y'all still ain't got answers. It's going on 3 years. And I know it's heartbreaking to see all this stuff again. And I feel like the TBI is just repeating. Candus said, well, when they barely search and then get drunk and pretend nothing mattered.
Whoa, Nellie is right. They barely searched and just got drunk. Burley. They barely searched and just got drunk. Let's talk about that. Because according to Allie, may she rest in peace, she gave many interviews and they all had the same verbiage. That when she was telling her that she couldn't find Summer, Summer's missing, Summer just got gone, she said she was 3 sheets to the wind, more than half in the bag, trying on hats. Candus shared this picture of Allie when she was moving. If Candus was a good friend, how come she didn't help her move? There's Allie with a mattress on top of her vehicle. She's got a strap on her arm, driving down the road. Why didn't Candus and Dawn help her? Personally, I wouldn't have moved this way. I like to use something called a U-Haul. Broken Golf Doll said, "Is that legal?" I don't think so. I wouldn't move this way. Plus, it's hard to smoke your cigarette while you're doing this. Think of the gall. When I first heard about this, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, now hold on. Is that our can't? Is that really our can't? Is our can't really saying that someone barely searched and just got drunk? Thanks to our friends at Whistle While You Lurk, It is definitely our can't.
Get drunk and pretend nothing mattered.
There's our can't. She says she doesn't trust Katie Proudfeet. She said, well, when they can barely search and then they get drunk and pretend like nothing matters. Does anyone have any thoughts on this? Remember, she got almost $400 in cash apps and was seen out playing coin pusher. This is beyond hypocrisy. This is what I call projection. Well, when they can barely search and then get drunk and pretend like nothing matters. I hate to throw dirt in anyone's eyes, but I'm going to have to.
Where's that pretty little zipper at? He is outside as usual. Brenda, isn't it nice to see her smile? It is beautiful. It's so nice. Oh, it is. I love y'all. Y'all are great. No, you're the great one. You're great. Thanks for being our friends. See the Mountain Dew, though? That's what I'm drinking. Right. Yeah, right? I'm drinking iced tea. Well, it's a 2-liter, so you might as well. Yeah, right? Just get one of them, remember they're strong, but they have the candy in them? You just empty them out and stick that in the 2-liter bottle. Candus, can you say that on? Hey, can I have a friend join us? Yeah. Absolutely. Sure, absolutely. Damn. Go get her. You better ask her first. Can you see what's on the screen, Candus? Munich City Mom said she would like to help with the house. The comment that I put on the... Come here, Dale. Get your ass out of bed. He's like, I got church in the morning, woman. I was here cooking in the morning. We gotta go to church and then we're gonna come home and work on the house. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Come here. Come here, my friend. Get over here. Come over here. You'll be in our lives, baby. Get off of these. Come here. I'm gonna pick up.
Mirror, Dale. Can I have a friend? Come in. I got church and got to work on the house tomorrow. She's drunker than a skunk. There she is on Daisy's channel. Well, when they can barely search and then they get drunk and pretend like nothing matters, then she goes on to say she doesn't trust Katie Proudfoot. Woo, doggy. What are you going to do with that information? She can barely search.
Oh, thank you, Dame. Thank you. God bless you, Dame. Thank you so much. Love you, Miss Daisy. Took a break. My heart is always with this channel. Love you too, Dame. Thank you. God bless you. If I have my cowbell, I'd ring it. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. I've been down here lately, and that makes me feel so much better. Thank you so much, because I just ain't been getting the views and stuff that I was, normally get, and I just kind of been down a little bit. But thank you so much for that.
Well, the reason Daisy is not getting the views she was used to getting is because no one believes can't. No one believes can't. They were really flooding to Daisy's channel hoping that Can't would say something of substance. But substance never happened. It was just nothing but lies and drama and sisters fighting, and that was pretty much it. It was just really just crazy. Every now and then you might get some nugget of something, but not much. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to play the music because y'all are making me blush around here. Well, let's get to it. Let's talk about who brutally searched. Who brutally searched? Who just got drunk and acted like nothing was going on? This interview with Can't and Don, we have gone through a million times. We have seen them on Dr. Phil. We have seen Can't in her denim jacket where she's grabbing the wires and she's just throwing them everywhere. She's throwing them and says, I'm going home. Dawn's rubbing her shoulder. These are tough questions. They're trying to help with Summer. She goes, but it's not helping me. Well, hello, my wonderful friend Pat. How are you today? Are you burly hanging on or are you there?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, doing good, my friend. Missed you.
Yeah, I haven't been around much. I had a girlfriend move in, so that's a whole new thing, new setup to get going and stuff like that. But I'm glad you're having this show today. It's been so long since we all talked about Summer.
And we need to, especially since, I'm giving Candus her due. She wants attention. She's going to get it today. A matter of fact, against, my better judgment, if she wants to come on panels, she can. So what did you think about when she replied when she was in Gatlinburg and this woman said, is Katie taking your limelight? And she said, of course she is.
Yeah. Like for her to come out and say it, I just, I can't with that woman. It's so sad. That's all I can say. So sad. Okay. From the very beginning, I never thought her or Dawn would say anything like her. To me, no disrespect to anybody that lives down in Tennessee, but they seem like I want to say they're hill people. They shut their mouth. They will never say a word about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they've done. They just and all the circus that went on after it. It's just so sad. It's about Summer, not about their shenanigans.
100%. And they can lie to us all they want. That's not a crime. What pisses me off to no end is when the story changed to WJHL and she tells them that Summer was just gone. She tells Chris McDonough that she walked inside. The first thing she said is, where's Summer? This is not the normal behavior of Can't. She's not checking on any kids. She's got 3 kids in foster care right now. She could give a drop of a rat's piss for them. She doesn't care. She's already texted people. They don't want to come home.
No, you could tell she wasn't what we would say a motherly person. You could tell that from the beginning. And Just Me had said in chat earlier that she gave them the benefit of the doubt until, I can't remember now, it just went out of my head, until something.
Just Me gave them the benefit of the doubt, and we talked about it a lot when the case first started, because she would even say, give him a break, give him a break, give him a break. When the prank phone call happened and the boys were removed, she was like, never mind.
Yeah.
You know what? And that is 100% okay. We can just, look and say, well, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, and when she did that first interview, the one where her face is up on screen right now, that's where I thought, even if you have a bad addiction, if your daughter's missing, are you really going to get that? Like, she was sloshed totally on drugs, though. It looks like she didn't look like she was drunk. Her eyes, and that was sad to see, very sad. And then it didn't get any better. And then the prank phone call was like, I couldn't even listen. I didn't watch the streams with Benny and everybody else on there. I just couldn't, because I thought it's all bullshit. Like, we just want to find out where Summer is. Chris McDonough's video I thought was great because it was more true to life, like him walking through, here, there, and everywhere with Candus. And I mean, how could you even walk around? I'd be hysterical.
I mean, I can go through that a million times. And when they were in the dungeon and Mr. McDonough said, I understand, Summer, now. Thank you. And she was, you're welcome.
Oh, I know. That was so embarrassing. We all knew exactly what he meant.
I'm like, what do you mean? This is hurting the man's heart.
Yeah. Yeah. But, and I have also heard him say, or other people have, professionals have said, they really think we're going to believe this. Like, where is their intelligence at when they really think we're just going to believe she got gone? Like, come on.
We don't believe it, and I don't think for a minute law enforcement believes it, because, I mean, anything that Dawn and Candus say to people that is sent into the TBI, they definitely are concerned. Probable cause, it is the weakest evidence, but it's the hardest to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So someone did something and did it well.
Yeah. And, I keep flipping about what actually happened. I'm still up in the air. Accident, planned, one of those two. I still can't wrap my head around it. And then, with the Sebastian thing, with the mother having the Sunday where she took Sebastian all over the place, it just reminded me of the day with Summer. It's like, oh, we went here, here, here. And it's like, holy geez, with kids. But maybe they do things like that. I don't know.
Well, the only persons that we know that were home with Summer Wells the day of her disappearance were Cant, Grandis, and the three boys. I can't say that Dawn was there. I just do know that, Cant has changed her story. She has lied quite a bit. And now she's extremely upset that Katie Proudfoot is stealing her limelight. Now, either limelight is a flavor of Mountain Dew or R&R, or she actually understood what was being said to her. Let's go through a little bit of what Cant said about the day Summer disappeared.
Okay.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart.
Okay, this is important. I know, I realize we're only 12 seconds in. I know she didn't walk away from this property on her own by her swing. The statement that the boys gave to law enforcement, this is on June 16th, 2021. According to Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, the TBI and FBI are conducting a joint investigation with the Sheriff's Office into the disappearance of 5-year-old Summer Moon Utah Wells, who, according to her siblings, walked out the back door while they were playing, but they weren't really paying attention. They just see their sister walk out the back door. Has anyone thought that maybe that's truly what happened? But she says by her swing.
Well, how would they see her walk out the back door? The back door was in the basement.
No, the back door. The one where you come in into the back of the house. The other door is down in the basement.
Oh, okay. So there is no front door then. The back door is opposite the kitchen where they were sitting. Is that what you're talking about?
You go through the McDonough interviews, and she takes him in through one door that goes into, I guess, living room, dining room, the kitchen area. Then you crawl down. Now there's a staircase. You go down, if you want to call it that, into the dungeon. Then there's another door.
Right.
But they said he went out the door.
Right. Well, I think that was told to them. First of all, I don't think 3 boys would even notice if their sister went out the door. They're playing video games or something.
Yeah, we don't know what they were doing. But that's their statement, and here's hers.
That somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers, and we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers, and I said okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes, I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom.
Okay, let's talk about this. She went downstairs to the playroom. It's not a playroom. That's a room where many people sleep. Okay. The boys had beds upstairs.
Yeah.
The oldest son's bed had to be moved because he had a CPS investigation. That's according to Can. She asked the boys, she went downstairs to play with her toys. Well, wouldn't that be all well and good? Why did she have to go down there and check on her? I think about June 16th when Can was fighting with people in news articles, and she said she was doing dishes and Summer just walked out the door. Well, that door would be the one you walk into if you're coming from Grandis's trailer.
Right. Yeah. Well.
That's the only way she would know.
Yeah.
Then she said she was pouring her cereal and she just walked out the door. Well, there's no way you're talking about the dungeon door when you're upstairs supposedly doing these things. And then it switched to you were outside planting flowers, and Summer wanted to go inside and play with her brothers. Candus comes in that door we're talking about. All 3 boys are there, and she said, where's your brother? Where's your sister? I'm sorry. She's downstairs playing with toys. She goes downstairs, and she's just gone.
Yeah. It's like, it's not even reasonable.
No, and we're talking about 2 totally different doors. I'm not going to sit here and fight about semantics. Yeah. We're talking about 2 totally different doors. If Cant's original story was she was doing dishes and Summer walked out barefoot, that's one thing. Then she said she was pouring her cereal and Summer walked out barefoot. Then we get to the June 18th story with Jeff Bobo that came from Dawn that said she had gone down into her room. Hang on. We're all mad here said, you are wrong, Brooks. I've been there. We're all mad here. I don't know why, you're calling me out. There are 2 different doors. I'm only going over what they have said. And if you see the Chris McDonough interviews, You see they walk in one door, they crawl down into the dungeon, and there's another door. It was on Dr. Phil as well. I'm not here to be right. I'm only saying what they have said.
Right.
I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are.
I don't go on walks around here because I'm scared of the bears, the snakes, even the coyotes. All right. Last week she was in Gatlinburg. Let me just show you something. She was having a great time.
After a recent hike in bear sightings, officials with the city of Gatlinburg spoke to 6 on Your Side reporter Jordan Brown, warning travelers to be very cautious.
Forget the attractions, museums, or mountainous views. The highlight of a trip to Gatlinburg is always...
Do you see that bear?
Yeah. It's easy to forget they're wild and unpredictable when they're, well, everywhere. In hot tubs.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. My buddy, what are you doing?
At gas stations.
There's 2.
But dipshit's scared of the bears. That's the reason. She's like, I don't go on walks around here. That's one of the reasons she said she didn't go out any further than across, her mother's camper to try to find Summer because she's scared of the bears.
But she has kids that play out there every day.
Kids that play out there every day. But she spent all that time in Gatlinburg trying to find her a new man because Don doesn't drink anymore. Don quit smoking, so he's not any fun to her anymore. Don even told her, go find someone that has children because we're not going to get the boys back and Summer's gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, luckily that won't happen.
Uh-huh.
Well, hopefully it won't happen. She's finished.
Hang on. We're all mad here. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. She said that's a real kind way to listen to a paying member who is trying to give you facts. I'm giving you facts. We're talking about 2 different doors. Candus cannot be upstairs. Who can even project? What would you consider the front door or the back door? The door I'm talking about is the one that the boys were talking about. Now, I don't know why you want to be aggressive with me, but it makes no sense. The kitchen is not in the dungeon. So for Candus to say she was pouring cereal and Summer walked out the back door. Listen, this is their verbiage, not mine. I don't live there. I know the difference between my front door and back door. Then she said she was doing dishes. Okay, so she changed those stories.
Yeah, she was trying to look more human, I think.
Yeah. Supposedly, the boys told local law enforcement that Summer just walked out the back door, which to me seems like a planted story in their head. She says that she went into whatever door you want to call it, and that the boys said she's downstairs playing with her toys. And of course, like Flash Gordon, she got straight down there, and Summer was just gone. So call it whatever door you want. What door did everyone see her walk out of? That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a story anyway. Just like she probably said to them, or I'm imagining she said, just say you saw her walk out the door.
I just don't know how she could get all 3 of them to say the exact same thing.
Well,
when they've all been separated and they have guardian ad litems and everything. How could you all say the same thing? And they just said the back door. They don't say, here's the longitude and latitude of the door. I mean, come on.
Well, they would have maybe said that the minute the police were there, but we really don't know what any of them have said since then, since they've been separated from, the scary parents, which is what I think they are, scary parents.
Well, I mean, all I know is when it comes to interviewing children, you really get one shot because you can't do the power of suggestion,
Yeah. They know how to speak to them.
What they say, that's it. That's what they've got on record. They saw her go out the back door.
Right.
So I don't know how she could get them brainwashed in the short time that it took for law enforcement to get there, because they were there with the quickness.
Yeah.
And I can't say anything about the boys because I obviously don't talk to them, don't want to talk to them. They have professionals that can do it. My issue is we know that Candus has changed her story many times in the very beginning.
Yes, definitely.
On June 16th is when she was arguing with people, saying that she was pouring cereal for Summer and that she walked out the back door. Then she said she was at the sink doing dishes and she walked out the back door. Next story is the boy said she's downstairs playing with her toys. And then she crawled her ass down there and said she was just gone. So we're talking about two totally different doors. I was not there that day.
No, we have to go by what the parents said. And when they change their stories, we all sort of go, well, why didn't you say that last time?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't seem as believable.
Mm-hmm.
And, the thing about going to check on her after 2 minutes, it just goes to show she's trying to emulate what a good parent would do. But all of us, most of us here, I think, that I've spoke to anyway, we are good parents. And how many of us would get up after 2 minutes when you're on a secluded property up on a hill? I wouldn't get up after 2 minutes to go check on my son.
No.
That's ridiculous. But she thinks she was emulating, I believe, that's what a parent would do. No, to me, it's a little bit overkill. I'm not a helicopter mom. But 2 minutes, come on. If anything, she would yell. That would be her normal thing.
Well, and she did say that. I yelled for her, and then I went down there, and she was just gone. So she comes in one door. She's, supposedly in whatever you want to call it, living room, dining room, kitchen. This is like, story number 3.
Right.
And Summer didn't yell back up. So instead of going outside to look for her daughter, she goes down in there and she looks under a mattress and blankets, goes out, whatever door you want to call it. She said she looked to the right because Summer would sit there by herself and play with toys by herself, which breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And she knew she was just gone.
Yeah, that's, and I always thought from the beginning, to me, hill people, if I want to say that, just people that live in the back, not in the middle of town, aren't they more the type that would run after anything they owned? Whether it be a wheelbarrow, a piece of wood, wouldn't they be like, leave it alone, that's mine? Well, wouldn't they do the same for their children?
I would think wherever you live, any mother that can't find her child isn't just going to do this. I just knew she was gone.
Yeah. and the kidnap thing. Like, come on. Who could walk up that hill? We've all saw how reasonable that story is. Like getting up there with nobody seeing you and all those dogs and taking the child. I don't think so. And Summer doesn't seem like she's a little quiet one. If anybody's going to yell, I would think Summer looked like she had the personality that she'd be screaming. So
If somebody tried to take her, you better believe it.
yeah, that's what I think.
I mean, people have heightened senses the further away they live from, let's say, like a police station or a fire department, but not these two.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. When you live out there, you do have heightened senses. I would think. It's all my opinion. I would think yes. So you're a little bit more leery when you hear things. You go out to check.
I mean, I guess it could go either way. I mean, hell, I mean, if you're living like, in a busy neighborhood, you might actually be more aware because there's more people. So, I mean, I don't know. But you're talking about 11 acres, a house way up on a hill that even the police had a hard time getting to. Everyone that's gone out there has missed their driveway entirely.
Yeah.
And I mean everyone. So who the hell supposedly got up there and got Summer? I don't believe it. And I don't believe for a minute that 11 acres has not been combed over and over and over.
Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up. And I don't know, it seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, they at least come forward and say what you've seen.
If you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen.
Who uses those words? I don't know. Elusive.
Yeah.
Suspect.
Just seems really elusive to me. Where'd you get that $10 word, Don?
I'm sorry. It's so ridiculous. I'm only laughing because it's ridiculous.
It is.
My heart breaks for Summer, but these two are ridiculous.
No, I don't know anything about that truck. Well, what's odd about the truck is that their friend Robin, who actually helped fix up their home in more ways than one, she was taking posters marking out that red truck. They just want to talk to the person who was in there.
Yeah.
They saw anything.
Yeah, that was a bit odd.
Mm-hmm.
She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head
in
the back and make it, I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad. But
we shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? And I mean, I can't tell you for facts. When Hunter got that same haircut, Allie, according to her, when she was here on Earth, she had Summer with her that day, and she had the same haircut as Hunter. It's kind of shaved up. It's a little long on the front, like Hunter.
Right. I remember seeing a picture of Summer with her hair like that. One picture I saw.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, it's all shaved off. But no, it was not, because all of the boys had their hair shaved off. We've seen pictures of her scalped and the other 3 boys with hair.
Yeah. And there's two stories to explain away the hair. That Candus wanted, Candus had her hair shaved, so Summer wanted it shaved. And then that part where Dawn says, and then it got out of control. Well, what does that mean? What got out of control? Maybe Summer tried to cut her hair. I think they did it as punishment. That's what I think.
I think they did too, because in such tight quarters, one person's not going to have lice and not everyone else. And who in the hell around that house is really looking through her hair? She's not in school to make sure she has lice, or she doesn't have lice. No, there was something else going on there. I believe it was definitely a punishment.
Yeah. Control.
But it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to go through their, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, and I feel for them. But I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house, in the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way. Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that. Was a way. Just
look where her mind is wandering. Yeah. He said, I just wish there was a way we could search every home in the eastern United States. And this is not sparking her interest at all. This conversation is not important to her.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to hear anymore about how Candus doesn't have the mental capability to have a conversation. They're like, oh, she's just like, a 14-year-old kid. That's what Kathy, the friend, said. If you remember this, that's what she said about her. This is when Candus was trying to pretend that she had a mental disability when she was getting a psych eval.
I actually took her to her psychiatric evaluation when they first ordered it, and it was in Knoxville. And at that time, she really hadn't driven on the interstate. She hadn't driven very far, so she was really nervous. So I went with her, and really she didn't even know how to work her GPS. So we get to the doctor's office. I sit down in the chair, and the first thing that she does is sit down on the floor and grabs the Legos and starts playing with Legos. When the doctor came from the back, she opened the door, and she looked at me and she said, Candus. And I turned and looked at Candus, and I could see shock, actually, in the doctor's face, because she, I think, was looking at me to be Candus, sitting in a chair, waiting to be seen, and then she looks over there and Candus is sitting on the floor, playing with Legos. Like a child, yes. Do I feel the Lego thing was legit or a ploy to seem off? Okay, no, it wasn't a ploy. That's who she is. That's who she is. That's the level she's on. And, she has never ordered anything offline. She's never written a check. That's why I had to fill out all the papers for her, because she don't know how to do any of that. So, and that's probably one reason, she don't want to step away from Don, because, he handles it all for her. No matter what it is, he handles it all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if she thought she had the mentality of a 14-year-old, why is she having a relationship with her?
Exactly. Especially once, she knows she's a suspect in her daughter's disappearance. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that she has lost other children. Matter of fact, this is, Candus's oldest daughter. Her name is Candus Fludden. She said, I was adopted at 6 months, put back into foster care around the age of 12, along with my brother, who has the same name as my bio father. I was told my bio mom was a meth head and abused us as babies. She has a record, not sure if she has one where she is now in Tennessee, but she has one or a few in Wisconsin for sure. I've never met any other siblings besides my bio, meaning her brother. I know as much as you guys. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. This is her side of why my brother and I got taken and her records for Wisconsin. And Candus's older children did not have a good life.
No, doesn't sound like it.
And when Can't reached out to Candus the third, and she was trying to tell her what was really going on, she already had all her records. She knew why she was taken to the hospital. She knew why her brother was taken to the hospital. She knew why they got adopted out. She knew why they were in foster care. I mean, why on earth did Grandis not adopt them? Why didn't she take care of her own grandchildren?
Yeah. Well, all I can say is thank God she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know I don't understand why the girl was put back into foster care at 12. I feel very sad for her. She must
there was an issue. There was an issue, and that's her business. And when she tried to get to know Can't asked her for money for cigarettes.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
money for cigarettes.
These people.
Thankful for the person or persons that's doing that, you know, out of love, and trying to get information and trying to get her found. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
That means a lot.
And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's an awesome young lady, and we just want her back. But, yeah, there's always going to be haters, and it's always going to be that way in this world. And we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. I mean, because we just try to be around good people. I mean, and we do have good people in this area. We found out since this has all happened. We got some real good neighbors and good folks everywhere. But
the most important thing is to bring Summer home.
Well, that's important. Most important thing is to bring Summer home, and that's the truth. It's been almost 3 years. What moves are Can't and Don the Con making to find their daughter? They don't go in the woods because of bears and snakes.
Yeah. Like, how can they stop? Did they ever look? Did they ever look? Like, I'd be walking, if they don't want to go in the bush with the bears and snakes and all that crap.
Like that's even out there. Like it's even out there.
Yeah. But you walk up and down the road, then you hang out at the police station. You do all if you want to emulate being a good mom, then even if they aren't, then fake it. You stake yourself out at the police station. Come on. I know everybody in chats all said the same thing. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't stop looking. And to me, I didn't see where they looked. They went to maybe one vigil or whatever, but they weren't out there 24/7. And I don't want to compare it to other mothers, but we know other mothers that are out there till their feet have blisters and their hands are bleeding and it's freezing cold. We know what a concerned mother would do. And that's, I think, why it gets me so bad. and you just have this pit in the bottom of your stomach because nobody did that. Well, her parents didn't do that for Summer. Everybody else did. We all picked up we did what we could, depending on where we live. But
when you don't have eyes on your child, we have spoke about it in the Sebastian case. You don't call someone 3 hours away or an hour away. You instantly try to find your child.
Yeah.
She's calling Dawn on Facebook.
Yeah. And maybe, okay, we have to back it up. She probably wasn't brought up in the best way possible, but a lot of people aren't. And they still overcome how they were brought up and what they were taught. And Dawn's saying we hang out with good people. Where are all these good people you hang out with? So you go to church and sit in the front row and Candus falls asleep and looks ridiculous laying down with a red hoodie on. Like, give me a break. Mm-hmm. Where are all these good people?
Well, they actually have a lot of good people around them, obviously, because a lot of people have helped them redo their home. And for what, I don't know. Token said, I went to the Christmas tree event and Candus was stinking. I heard that. Many people said she smelled like a combination of no deodorant and like an onion smell. When asked about it, she's like, I don't like onions. Well, when you get that onion smell, it's just called body odor.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is going on here, Pat?
Unfortunately, I believe they had something to do with, or they know more. I can't say for sure. And I hate to always pick the worst scenario, but obviously she didn't just get gone. Aliens didn't come down and abduct her, and I think all the professionals have sort of debunked that somebody could have walked up and taken her from the basement and, and been the best criminal around with leaving no clues. Like, it's just didn't happen. So what are we left with? We're left with the obvious. Who was, like you said, who was in the house with her? Well, I don't think the boys did it.
Yeah, I don't think the boys did it. And if she just wandered off on her property, when you can't find your child, you go look for your child. You don't post a picture on Facebook a little bit after 6 p.m. and then supposedly walk in and say, where's Summer? She's downstairs playing with her toys. She goes downstairs or, down the, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. She goes down there. There's no Summer. Why didn't she just walk around to the damn door?
I thought of that too. I wouldn't have climbed down the stairs. I would have walked back out and gone to the door.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume she's outside. If you yelled for her and she didn't yell back, she's probably outside.
Right.
And she's like, oh, I didn't see her on her swing or anything. Okay, well then why didn't you venture out onto your own property and find her?
Yeah.
Because,
and we know from Jose that Summer had gone, like I believed him, had taken off once before, and it took more than an hour to find her. So why wasn't, Candus at the door screaming Summer's name? Mm-hmm. Because she's done it before. And she was at the age she might have, wandered off. But we all know if she wandered off, we would have found her by now.
Oh, easy. With the dogs, the drones, the special equipment. They don't want anyone searching their property anymore. I'm not really going to split hairs on that one. My question is actually it's more of a statement. When you can't find your child, seconds matter. You don't dick around on the phone with Dawn and wait for him to call the police, wait for them to get there. Then you call Hunter hoping to get a hold of Allie. And then you're bitching because you had to put your dogs up, even though Dawn said the dogs weren't there that day because the police brought their own dogs. What'd she think was going to happen? They were just going to put a post-it note saying, if you come across a girl named Summer, call this number. Of course you're going to search.
The dog's all gone. That every newscast we've seen of Dawn and Candus or Grandis, there's always dogs barking in the back. So there's no way 10 dogs disappeared. And if Summer had walked off, one of them would have gone with her. So
Right.
Again, that doesn't make sense. She didn't walk off.
They would have found her.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no sinkholes. Yeah, there's wildlife, but that would be easier to find.
Yes. Yeah.
Safe. I'm sorry that you feel this way about us, but we love our children with everything we have. We've never went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband. He's always provided for us and has worked as much as he could and can and still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around. Ever.
See, the way she says that, as long as I was around, ever. That's what I mean about, people looking after what is theirs. He says it in that one sentence, but then they don't go out and look day after day, which I would have assumed went along with that statement. So I don't know.
No, I think you're right on it, because when she said nobody would treat her that way as long as I was around ever, and
Right.
you can see she's totally lost in her own thoughts. This is not the same can't we've seen before.
Right.
She is put on the spot. She is really, really, really trying to make sense of what happened that day. Remember, PBI said she went missing early afternoon, June 15th. The 911 call came in close to 6:30 p.m. That is not early afternoon. Nobody would treat her that way if I was around. She pauses and says, ever. Listen to it again. Well, then where were you? You said you were just in the yard planting cactus, succulents. They're not even real cactus. Before that, you said you were pouring her a bowl of cereal. Not the other kids, just Summer. Then you said you were doing dishes. They're simple things of the day that she leaves out.
To Summer's daddy and my husband, he's always provided for us and has worked as much as he could and can and still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around. Ever.
She loves to dance. She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl." And she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl till my arm got tired, But I put out there that one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, well, I'm sorry about that. It's just.
She also liked the song by New Breed. It was called House.
Let's talk about the past tense. Okay, because here's the thing. We have heard from many behavioral experts, district attorneys. We even heard a judge call out a convicted man. your brain cannot possibly go to the definites of death unless you know. Like Don keeps saying, you all keep getting mad at us for, saying was. Well, why are you doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you have no hope that she's not alive? I mean, Candus has already rounded it up. She was on Daisy's panel and she was like 2.5 years going on 3. How in the world can you even say that? How do you not know she's not going to pop back up?
Exactly. I just want to go back to, sorry, I have to go back to when she said nobody would treat her like that if I was around ever. So who else was around?
Who else was around?
Grandis. And Grandis, she's always bothered me. She's always bothered me.
Me too. I mean, Hunter even said she was out of her mind that day.
Yeah. And that's always bothered me. And I don't think Candus would throw her mother under the bus. And I don't think Dawn would either. Probably because they have something on each other. But I don't know. Grandis has just always bothered me. Sorry, go ahead with it. I just had to throw that in.
No, I'm just glad that, you brought up Grandis because the whole day of Summer, the whole day of her disappearance is molded around Grandis. We are supposed to believe that Candus, who doesn't give 2 farts in the wind about anybody except herself, got her ass out of bed early that day to go to that tuna can tin camper that her mother sleeps in, full of fireworks and toilet paper. I did not pick the decor. And was so worried about her knee that supposedly got aggravated a week earlier in Gatlinburg. And she says to her mother, "Oh, mother. Oh, mother. I must get you medical care right now, mother. Oh, mother, I don't want to sit around and drink and smoke all day. I must get you care for your plastic knee. Mother, please. I must take you now. Oh, mother, please. We must get you medical attention. Oh, mother. And there's Grandis. Okay, I guess I'll go. So instead of taking the Subaru that old mother can just swing her dead knee into, they take Brandis's truck she's got to crawl into. Instead of just going straight to the doctor and straight back home, they go across Hell's Half Acre. They got all kinds of stuff to do. We got to go fishing / swimming, hippie hut, got to go to the grocery store. Didn't even give a shit that she was sitting there for so long. Her teenage boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. See, it all bothered me. And nobody talks about Grandis. It's like, who knows what happened? We don't know. But I'd take the boys out of the picture right away. So they're left with Candus and Grandis.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You want to sell me some oceanfront property in New Mexico? Go for it. But you're not going to tell me that this dumb bitch got up and was, for whatever reason, wiped off her hangover, got the eye boogers out of her eyes, got the snot out of her ears, and went out there and said, "Just here to check on your knee, Mama."
Yeah.
No.
That might be something we might do, but I don't know. I don't think so. But it was a good story they made,
And there's Candus in March of 2022. She's like, Candus was worried about my knee. The fuck she was.
Yeah.
The only thing she's worried about is something that can get her high or fucked. And I haven't seen her sitting on your knee for a very long time, Grandis.
Yeah, exactly.
My house, she sung that a lot of times when I play it on the TV. She loved to dance.
She liked to think of herself as a princess, and you know, and all that, like all young girls do. And
she loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa,
and I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there. And I think you can't explain.
Idiots. Idiots. She loved to be in church. You know, I can't speak for everybody when they go to church. I just can't. But I mean, I try to look the best I can. All right.
Yep.
I mean, I do the best I can. All right. I'm not saying I'm dressed to the nines. They had little Summer in a pair of blue jeans with a dress that's way too big for her over her. They wouldn't even teach her pride in herself.
Yeah. Yeah. And the past tense, it gets me. How can they do that so quickly?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, maybe Candus right there was grieving, you know, because she knew Summer was gone. It took us a lot longer. It took me a long time to figure, you know, maybe she isn't around with us anymore. It was a long time. I was holding on for a long time.
When they scaled back the search, I said, okay, then they know that there's something foul going on. You know, when the TBI agent that was giving interviews, and I don't mean Leslie, but when she was put off the case because she deals with abductions, I said, okay, there's no abduction. When the FBI card unit said, our investigation showed no sign of abduction. So what is it?
Yeah.
Is there some sort of foul play? Or did she just truly wander off and the thousands of people looking for her and dogs that have good sniffers, you're telling me they couldn't find her?
Yeah.
And don't forget, in this family, you have two people that have vanished without a trace.
Well, that's another thing. I wish somebody would do a show on Rose. Like I've heard little bits and pieces over the last 3 years, but nothing else. Like I haven't put the whole story together yet. So it to me, it seems too coincidental. It's just, it doesn't look right. Doesn't look right to me.
I think about what Grandis said just during her, text messages with random people. And she said, the prettiest girls in our family are gone.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And, in sisters, and there's always a little bit of, mom liked you best, mom, like normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally normal. But to people that are brought up and maybe in not as caring a household, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can tell you this. I mean, when Candus, she was always talking bad about Allie, even though Allie did so many things for her.
Yes.
She would bring groceries. She would, hell, she would drive way out of her way to pick her up and take her to the liquor store, whatever she needed. Okay.
Yeah.
And when she was talking to Chris McDonough about how, Jose and Allie hooked up, and she's like, I guess he likes chicks with dicks. Well, your mother likes chicks with dicks.
Yeah. Yeah. Just whatever comes out of their mouth just never shocks me now. Yeah. You know me, I just sit and shake my head and like, are you serious?
I mean, Summer is missing. Who cares what Allie and Jose do with each other?
Exactly. When we got into all of that, it's like, I don't give a shit what any of them do privately, except it just goes to show what poor Summer and the boys and even Allie's kids were subjected to day after day.
Yep.
You know, remember the Sandra? It's like, oh my God.
Oh, I'll never forget that one. Now we have Miss Scared of the Bears on vacation by herself in Gatlinburg. I just showed you the news clip. Actually, let's get back to it about all the bears that are around Gatlinburg, and that's where she chose to go.
And grabbing a bite to eat at popular Gatlinburg restaurants.
I know that's folks' first thing when they come to Gatlinburg or the Great Smoky Mountains is they want to have that interaction with a bear, and we do understand that, but we also have to think of the safety of the bear, of the humans.
An increase in sightings prompted the Gatlinburg Police Department to post this warning to residents and tourists.
If you encounter a bear, whether it be at your residence or if you're a visitor in a cabin or if you're in downtown Gatlinburg, is to give our police department a phone call.
And if your first instinct is to record the moment, officials say don't.
Keep your distance. I know that everybody's first reaction these days is to, record their interactions with bears, but that's generally the worst thing that we could have happen, because we don't want to get too close, because again, those animals, they're wild animals, and they can react in ways that we don't know how they'll react.
Keeping the bear safe keeps you safe, ensuring we all can enjoy the Smokies peacefully. For Good Morning Tennessee, Jordan Brown, WATE 6 on your side.
Well, it seems that Kant is trying to enjoy the Smoky Mountains peacefully, even though she would not wander off into her own property because she's scared of the bears, the snakes, the coyotes. Yet she's talking about Katie Proudfoot, and I will give her a gold sticker for that one, because she says she burly searched and they just got drunk and went on like nothing mattered. Well, here is Miss Nothing Matters in the flesh.
Together though, I ain't doing it by myself. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting little island here. In the little Pigeon Forge River runs all around it. And so you gotta go and park way in the parking lot, and then you ride this tram into the island. It's pretty cool. They got the 5 and dime store, but it's not 5 and dime, let me tell you. It's like 10 and up. Oh, Clint.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. They got a 5 and dime store, but it's more like 10 and 20. It's more like 10 and 20.
These little videos she puts out make me so angry. Like,
oh, me too.
How can she even be on vacation? Like, you know what? Go do something with the rest of your life. You've lost all your kids. They took you. Everybody is gone. Go work for a church or something, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, we know for a fact Summer is missing. Your 3 boys are in state care. Your 2 oldest children were taken from you at an extremely young age, like 1.5 years and 6 months. People talk about the 7th baby. Considering the creator that put it out and changed the story so many times, I can't say anything about the 7th baby, because if Candus actually put a child up for adoption, I'm not going to shame her for that, because it's the best thing she could have done.
Exactly.
If you want to go down to Gatlinburg and, stroll around, whatever, have at it. What are you doing filming yourself? It's because you are trying to get attention. She was in Daisy's chat going, "Where's all my fans?"
What fans? We're not a fan of you. or
No.
your husband. We want to find Summer. I don't even like saying your daughter anymore.
Summer.
She didn't deserve a daughter like that. That little angel, you know, playing in the rain. It just gets me every time. We don't give a shit about you, Candus. We do not give a shit. We
Lisa,
just want your daughter. We wouldn't even know you if it wasn't for your missing daughter.
100%. Broken Golf Doll said, was the 7th baby confirmed? No, never has been. That was put out by Lisa K. Ruitz, who said she is friends of the family. And she said that she is friends with Candus's oldest sister, whose name also is Jeannie. And that those two arranged an adoption for this baby. I don't know how this happened, considering where Lisa K. Ruitz lives, how she would know any of these people. I do not know. But this is what she said. Candus has been asked many times, and she says no, she didn't. Now, Candus is pretty damn dumb, but I think she would remember a baby coming out of her. And then somehow Don picked up on it, and he was like, yeah, I think there was a kid between, I think there might have been one. I don't know. Either way, if a child was put up for adoption, it wasn't arranged by Lisa K. Ruitz and Candus's sister, Jeannie. It would have been taken straight from the hospital, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
And it was actually a good thing, round of applause for Candus, that she did, because she is not fit, as we know, to take care of children.
Yeah, she gets bonus points if she gave the child up for adoption. There you go. I'll give her 1 bonus point for that.
There you go.
For signing those papers.
Hey, sorry, Dylan. Oh. Well, I stopped for a smoke break, so I guess I'll turn y'all back around and go in this character store here that they got. If I can figure it out. Oh, there we go. Oh, the sun's really bright. It's already like 80 degrees out already, y'all. I got this cute little water fountain out here. It's pretty cute. I like waterfalls. Alright, the character shop.
Well, get you some, Candus. Why'd you quit the job? Why'd you keep saying you had COVID and you couldn't go to work?
Oh, has she ever worked? Where is that coming from?
Yeah, supposedly she worked for a house cleaning business.
Oh, for God's sake.
But this shopping with Candus is something else.
That's crazy. Oh, turtles was always my favorite when I was growing up as a kid. I used to love the turtles.
Hang on, how old is Candus?
I honestly don't know.
Isn't she in
55?
her?
No,
Oh
50
God,
maybe.
she's much early. She's much younger than that. She's like in her early 40s.
Oh, okay.
The turtles were my favorite growing up. Okay, Candus. All right, I'll give you that one.
She
They
can't even
don't
talk
have
about her kids.
Splinter though. And then they got E.T. He was cool too. And the Gremlins. They were kind of like a thing when I was a kid. The ultimate dress up E.T. Huh. You get to dress it up. That's kind of cool. I guess there's different ones that you can dress up. I don't know what this one is. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Frankenstein, Predator 2. I've never even seen Predator 1. That's really cute. Winnie the Pooh. I like the glass looking ones, like Mickey and Pooh back there. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at this glass here. I don't even know what that is. They want $403 for that thing. Ain't no way. That's interesting. That's just stuff I've never seen before. Yeah, if people are being rude, just throw them out.
What a meteor manager is she? If people are being rude, just throw them out. Just throw 'em out. I think, anyone that, saw this go live, and I guess she has another one coming up soon. I mean, according to her, she knows where all her kids are. These are her words, not mine. Just like the doors, just like everything that went on that day. These are her words. Now, I tell you something that does make her speechless, and that's when I'll earn the burn comes across her.
Oh yeah.
That really gets her going.
But yeah, it's insinuating. Is that Ernie?
Yeah, that's Ernie. That's his
Yeah, that's Ernie.
Okay, come up, Ernie, if you want
Yeah,
to.
he needs to come up and say hi, the old stranger.
Get up here, Ernie.
Everybody's saying that you ditched me the other day when you come up here, which I know Ernie's in and out all the time. So Ernie don't.
Yeah, he ditches everybody.
He does.
Been trying to call him for weeks. Freaking won't even answer his phone.
I know. Ernie's just Ernie.
Unless he wants to be mean to me. Then I'll send me a message.
But yeah, I mean, he's more than welcome. Don B, if you want to come up here and you got things to say, well, you need to come up here and apologize to Candus. This is your chance to make things right. There's Ernie on.
I'd like to talk to Don B.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Well,
do you remember me, Ernie?
I do remember you.
Okay.
We got lips up here.
Okay.
Hey, stranger.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Oh my God, is that Candus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Candus, you looking pretty good today.
I'm trying my best.
Her
That's
hair's
good.
all long and stuff.
She's doing good, Ernie. She's doing real
Looks
good.
like straight and dried up and got your headphones set on. Lord.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Living
good.
the good life.
I love you,
good.
Jinky.
That's her new nickname, Can.
Can.
What's
That's
today's
what we call
conversation
Ben
about,
Hill,
y'all?
We don't
Don
call
B's
it.
making
Don B and his bull crap.
He's making T-shirts with Summer's name on it and selling it.
Yeah, no one cares about Don B's t-shirts. What I do think is odd is that when she was in Gatlinburg, so was Ernie.
She's probably stalking him.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he put that on Facebook. Hey, Gatlinburg, Predator Hunter Nation is here.
See, I don't even know who he is. I didn't follow all the side channels, as I call them.
No, I didn't either. Just someone that had that person taken one for the team, we probably wouldn't be here today. Token said hillbillies don't lose their kids. We always know where they are. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. That they would have been more so, there with their shotgun going, leave my kids alone or something. And that didn't happen.
No, not at all. She got to have a nice trip down to Gatlinburg. That's where she likes to go. She said it was Pigeon Forge. Some people say Gatlinburg. I don't know. They change stories all the time. Then we know that she can't keep a story straight. We know that she's extremely pissed that people are flooding towards the Sebastian Rogers case right now. Because when they feel like they're on the edge of their seat and they're like, this is going to be solved soon. They're going to make a break in this case because it is so new.
Yeah.
The longer a case goes on, well, sadly to say, the least likely it's going to get solved.
Yeah.
And I mean, for one, look at one thing. I'm not trying to be grim, but the crime scene is the body.
Yes.
Summer has been missing for almost 3 years. That's less evidence for the police. No, they're not out there combing the area anymore. It's absolutely insane. And the thing is, Ernie doesn't want to see her. He still wants that money back from the pizza that he brought up to Ben Hill Road.
Oh, he was the one that went up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she wore that underwear made out of bologna.
Oh, Lord. She has no clue that none of us want to speak to her, see her, nothing. All we want is to know where Summer is or what happened that day. Give us a little bit more of the truth. None of these people, nobody'd be talking to her if it wasn't for Summer. And I think the only reason everybody had her on their show was because they thought she was going to spill it.
Or just say something. I mean, don't think for a minute I wanted Stacey Wander on my show.
Oh, no, we're glad you did that, Brooks.
I knew that, with the buzzsaw he had going on, he was going to slip something, and he did. And that's the reason I got other creators to talk to him too. So it's not just me. It's not just me talking to him, because that just doesn't look right. So I had other people say, can you please bring him on?
Yeah.
If he wants $20, give him $20, because he's going to say more, because he's enjoying the attention. Candus, she's enjoying the attention, but for a totally different reason.
Yeah, she's out of touch with reality. Read the room, Candus. We just want your daughter, not you. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly right. And she's all pissed off because Dawn doesn't smoke and drink anymore. Well, isn't that a good thing?
And she had so many opportunities. Dr. Phil would have done anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she got new teeth, and she could have been in a good, rehab. Like, she's been given opportunities. She was blessed with all those children, that every one of them was an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And she blew it all. So I have no sympathy for her at all. I am glad the kids are not near her. I'm sorry. I just don't feel any motherly affection towards her or sadness. So
no, not for her. For Summer, I do. For what the police have been through, what Andrew and Candus have been through. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for Dawn and Candus, because I really can't. I mean, Don's a nasty bastard. I'm not going to say that he isn't. Okay. Yeah. But I can't put him at the house. I just can't.
No.
I think that he knows enough about his wife, the situation with his mother, which he has spoke about to people behind the scenes. I know he knows enough about, he even spoke with Rose's husband, Christopher Larson. And they spoke about Grandis and just, what a nasty person she is. And look, you can be a nasty person all day and all night. That doesn't make you a child disappearer. Okay.
Right.
But there's too many jagged edges in this puzzle for me.
Yeah. And like Don says, he doesn't hang around those people. Well, your life sort of shows you always have hung around those type of people that might not be churchgoers. Let's put it that way.
No, it was a new church to them. Get real.
Yeah. Like, you can't fool us.
No.
It maybe with a couple little things, but put it all together, the totality of everything that's gone on, and I'm sure they know more. Lots more.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Don is one of those people.
Yeah. He's shown it.
Don was bragging about how his 18-year-old daughter, after she was AR'd, sucked it up and he was proud of her because she didn't cause no problems for nobody.
Yeah.
When I was talking to him on the phone one day, I said, well, Don, that's not a good look. I said, I don't know if that was clipped, edited, or what. I said, but you need to correct that. He said, you wish you was pretty enough to get fucked like that.
I know. That's the mentality. Like, who says things like that?
He said she took it like a champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What to do? What to do?
That was enough for me.
That was enough for me. I was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to get anything out of him.
Yeah.
But what I can say is this has been a great show. I'm so glad we all got together to talk about Summer Wells. Now, I promised you 2 shows today. Unfortunately, I will not be having the second show until tomorrow because the subject that we're talking about, the victim, Noah Pressgrove, one of his family members cannot come on until tomorrow. I mean, I can just go ahead and go through it and then do it again tomorrow if you want. I don't want to disrespect the family. That is a problem. They may not like me just running with it, on my own. So let's just keep it kind of touch and go. What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, with respect to the family, always, to me, they're first.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they might like to come up first and tell, what case is it? Have we heard of this before?
I'm going to put it in the Oklahoma room in Discord because I saw this case on my local news. We're here. I'll give you guys real quick. I'll give you a sneak peek. What do you think?
Yeah.
You guys want a sneak peek? Let's do a sneak peek.
Alrighty.
To figure out what led to the death of an Oklahoma teen.
At first, they thought it was a hit and run.
Well, it's beyond suspicious because Noah went to a party which was highly, highly publicized. Okay. Kids had stuff all over Instagram, Snapchat. They don't really use Facebook anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw my local news, and when they said the OSBI is assisting, they didn't take the case over. I thought, oh, okay. So they've got this one in the bag. But his teeth were scattered. He's got a crushed skull, broken ribs. He was butt-ass naked, except he just had his shoes on. So either he left the party mad and someone else picked him up, or someone from the party. But the thing is, the OSBI and even the local people, they could squeeze the kids from the party real quick. So there's a lot going on here. And his family, they're not taking no for an answer. His fingers were shredded, meaning like he was hanging on to the pavement.
Oh.
Yeah. So something way more is going on. So if it's too much for his family, I wouldn't blame them. We will just do it on our own.
Yeah, well.
I would for them. I'm not going to call out any of the kids at the party. I'm not going to get into Kylie Rodney 2.0 like I did before. Because I know plenty of the kids that were at the party.
Right.
What I'm going to do is just go through it. And again, we're talking about, an area of Oklahoma when, you're not going to find any traffic cams, CCTV or anything. So someone's going to have to talk.
Right. Okay, well, we're prayers for Noah then.
Well, Noah's he's with Jesus, so we got to do some prayers for law enforcement to get this solved for his family.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mod Squad. I know we had a couple of troublemakers in here. It happens from time to time. But, I mean, all in all, look who was on panel.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me up, Brooks.
Hashtag WWPD. What would Pat do? And as you know, on the other channel, she's one of 3 moderators over there now. And she is our main mod, aren't you, Pat?
Do they realize that you're saying that sarcastically? Because I'll tell everyone, I'm the worst mod. Like, I forget sometimes I'm modding because I want to read the chat. And you can't mod and read the chat. You can't pay attention to Brooke's voice and listen to the chat. So I'm like one or the other, and squirrel. I'm retired. Hey, I have a wrench because I was Brooks's first member, and that was a fluke. And she gave me this.
That was months later. You were in chat, and I'm like, well, I'll just see if Pat wants to wrench. And you said to me in chat, you go, what do I do with this?
Yeah. Well, my first question was, why is there something blue beside my name now? And someone came and said it's a wrench. And I went, well, yeah. And then I said, well, what am I supposed to do with it? I don't want to do anything. Don't give me a job to do. Anyway, I love all you guys. I love chatting with you. And thanks for having me up.
I want another job. But when she does get fired up and she swings that wrench around,
oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't insult anybody that I like, because you're getting booted out. And that would be anybody on panel. And if you're rude, or you call out people, like, go to another channel. That's me. Brooks can't say that, but I can. I just go, oh, like, you should hear me. I'm talking to my phone as I'm modding. I'm going, oh, fuck you. Like the really bad ones.
Oh, I know. Oh, you said chat before, and I just die laughing. And so that's why I always say she's our main mod. And when she's really fired up, she's like, I'm not putting up with this today. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, and when Kat and me get together, that's even better. She gets me fired up.
I tell you what, the day that we made you the only moderator on the other channel, I'm like, because Kat goes, you have no moderators in here. Which, by the way, that is just me. I'm like, damn it. I didn't even think about that. And I'm like, I said, I'll find someone. And she was like, and I said, yeah, I'll just see if, Pat can do it. She's in here now. And at once, we both and laughing, going, oh, this is going to be great. And you go, I'm the only moderator.
Now, there was 300 people in chat. Yep. And I'm sitting there like, you should have seen me. I was like so focused, like my finger was just ready to boot anybody if they said something.
It's like you were playing Frogger from 1987. I mean, it was like a video game for you. You're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Oh, yeah, totally. And how am I going to smoke a cigarette? I can't even reach for my lighter, for God's sake. This is stressful.
You were getting so pissed. And I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. But it was fun. The other channel is just, for fun stuff and just, BS and chit chat. But you're an amazing friend, Pat. And I love you to death.
Thank you, hon. Talk later.
And love all of you. Thank you for being here. Coming back together for Summer Wells. Again, people have tried to bully and bully and bully and bully the F out of us for, continuing talking about summer. There's nothing to talk about. There's no updates. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you care. It's not your business. Well, in my America, it is my business when a child is missing. When a child cannot be found in my America, it is my business. Do you understand that? These people are nuts. What are you doing calling out Dawn and Candus? Because their stories have changed. He's a perverto. She has changed her story. We have people in here right now that actually love their parents, love their spouses, love their children, love their grandchildren. We don't have the type of community that's going to say, fuck it. Another kid's missing like a stray cat. That's crazy. These people are nuts, but that's okay. They need us more than we need them, because without us, they wouldn't have anything to talk about. So how about this? Let's give them something to talk about, my friends. Let's just keep doing what we do, continuing being a united front, being friends, and I can only give it to you guys because I'm not the channel. You guys are the channel. Just keep being the best chat and community on the nasty YouTube streets. I will see you back here either later this afternoon or early tomorrow morning, because it looks like one of the family members wants to do it before she goes to work. That's okay. Either way, we'll get it done. Love you bunches.